Dear sports fans, I am Andras from Hungary. As the ski season is just around the corner, I would like to tell you an interesting story related to skiing. It happened in 1973 when I was 17 years old. Even then I loved skiing and persuaded my father to take me on a 3-day trip to Tatra Lomnik. He agreed only with great difficulty because he really disliked winter. Not only did he not know how to ski, but he didn't like other sports either. However, he was an internationally recognized engineer ahead of his time. So on a beautiful cold winter morning, the three of us, my mum, dad and I, loaded into a Skoda Octavia and set off from Budapest. Our journey was full of adventure. As we approached the Hungarian-Slovakian border, a blizzard started and there were snowdrifts on the road. We slid back and forth on the icy road. My poor father had to try all his driving skills, but in the end we were lucky and arrived in Poprad and checked into a hotel with a marvelous view of the surrounding mountains and pine forests.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually...
Early the next morning I headed out to the slopes. We had agreed with my parents that while I skied they would explore the surrounding area and we would meet back at the hotel at dusk. I had only skied short and easy slopes in Hungary before, so at first I had to get used to the long and steep slopes in Slovakia. I was getting better and better at it and I was really enjoying it. It was already half dark when I decided to go downhill on skis for the last time. In the semi-darkness I made good turns at first, but at the end of the slope I fell and one of my skis came off my foot. There were no brakes on the skis at the time, so the skis slid down into the valley with increasing speed. I tried to run to catch up it, but I had no chance. The ski got away from me faster and faster, and then it disappeared into the darkness of the valley. By this time it was completely dark. Now I'll get it from my parents. I thought I had asked them for expensive ski equipment for Christmas, and it was gone. Meanwhile, I realized that I had completely lost my way as I walked down the valley. I was standing in the middle of a forest in a foreign country in total darkness. The temperature was dropping rapidly. It was about -15 degrees. I shouldn't panic, I told myself, but I was panicking more and more. Suddenly I heard a loud dog barking, and then the dog appeared, wagging its tail in a friendly manner. Soon her owner approached with a lantern in her hand. As she approached me, in the light of the lantern, I recognized a young, pretty Slovakian woman. My panic instantly vanished. I scrambled to type what I could in Slovak, 3 or 4 words. "Ahoy," I greeted her. She smiled and said something in Slovak. I didn't understand a word and kept saying that I was Hungarian. It turned out that she also knew 3 or 4 words in Hungarian, and I managed to explain to her that I was lost and had lost my skis. I learnt that her name was Martina. With the help of her torch, we quickly found the skis and went to her house in the neighbouring village. Her parents, having learnt what had happened, were very friendly. They offered me a cup of tea and a delicious cake, and then drove me back to the hotel. In the car, Martina and I agreed to go skiing together the next day. So we did. We met at the ski lift at 9 in the morning the next day. It was only in the rising sunlight that I realized how beautiful Martina was. Her curly blonde hair fell in beautiful curls over her shoulders. I immediately fell in love with her when she looked at me with her beautiful green eyes. Of course, I couldn't keep up with her on the slopes. She was gliding down the slopes like lightning, but we were getting closer and closer. We laughed a lot on the ski lift. We tried to communicate in Russian. Our relationship developed so quickly that later on the day, when we were eating something in the buffet, Martina pressed herself against me and kissed me unexpectedly. What can I say? I was very pleased. Meanwhile, out of the corner of my eye, I saw my parents leaving the hotel for a walk. I asked Martina what she would think if we continued cuddling in the hotel instead of here in the bitter cold. She laughingly agreed, and we snuck into the room. Our love was cemented there. On the 3rd day, we did it all over again. We rolled down the ski slope 2 or 3 times and then watched from the buffet as my parents went on a 3-hour walk, and then quickly to the room. It wasn't just an adventure, we felt like we were made for each other. After that, Martina traveled to Budapest 3 more times with her parents. They met my parents several times and really liked each other. It turned out that Martina's father is an engineer and is working on similar projects. It was suggested that this could be a prerequisite for a longer, serious relationship between Martina and me. But distance is like the wind. It puts out small fires and ignites big ones. Unfortunately, it put out that fire. That's the story, my dear friends. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and put likes. A big hello to everyone.